Ah, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and I'm glad you guys are here. Lil Wayne is free. Lil Wayne is free. They free Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is free. Weezy is free. Finally, Lil Wayne is free. Now, here's the problem. Well, here's the situation. Lil Wayne basically didn't win a lawsuit. That's a little bit of a wrong way to put it. Lil Wayne settled the lawsuit. That's the better way of putting it. In case you guys hadn't know, for the past 3 years, seem like Lil Wayne has been fighting to get off of Cash Money Records, and as early as years ago, before this lawsuit and things got bad, Lil Wayne was gonna go over with Jay Z and Rock Nation a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. Then Baby sent Jay Z talked about it and spoke about it. He sent a letter of, like tampering, torturous interference with his artist, Lil Wayne, and all this stuff. He was just letting him know, like, I'm finna sign him because basically I got the right to. And when that happened, it started a whole series of events to let people know there was a problem from the jump. There was a major problem with this from the beginning, from the inception. And then it became an even bigger problem as it grew. As things went on and developed, it expanded and became a bigger problem till Lil Wayne got hit with a lot of tax problems. He had a lot of tax problems. He had a lot of things he couldn't pay to certain artists on his label, and he wasn't getting the advance money he was supposed to get for his albums because Baby had messed up the money. So when Baby messed up and he couldn't give him the advance, and they said, "Well, send us the album and you'll get your advance," and he's like, "Nah, that ain't how it's supposed to go." So it became a big mess. Reckless spending, all kind of things going wild. So when all these things cleared out and dissipated, there are a lot of people there that was broken up. He one did not want to lose Tiger. Tiger left because he saw the writing on the wall. And Wayne tried to get Tiger to stay, but Tiger was already gone. He was like, "What? We lost Tiger. Why we let him go?" And Wayne was like, "I didn't want to lose. He's messing up my Young Money thing, and you firing artists or letting people go out of their contract." And he was like, "Yep, we out." So when you have situations like that get out of control and spiral, you're creating a bigger problem than you realize. Columbus, Georgia, what's up? I see you. Did somebody just say tiger and not tiger? Go back to sleep. So he signed to Jay Z a long time ago, and they nicked the deal because Baby sued Jay Z, and Jay Z was just letting him know it was happening. He was like, "Man, we were cool," so I called Baby and told him I was signing him, and then I got a letter for torturous interference with his artist, and he tried to sue Jay Z for $50 million. It was crazy. So now they had a deal in place with Lil Wayne to be on title in Rock Nation title. They had that deal set up for him, and they just waiting on this thing to get situated. And the gist of it is he wanted out. Like he wanted off the label, and that's that. So they had to go before a judge and get things squared away. But they had an arbitrator come in and get things done before they went to court. Well, the lawsuit wasn't really against Baby and Cash Money. It had to go to the head honcho, and that's Universal. Universal owns it all. So he had to sue Universal Records. Even though it was with Baby and Cash Money, the buck has to go all the way up to Universal. So that means Universal's involved. Oh wow, this guy's really sick. Clifton, you must not be feeling well. Uh, so they had to go to Universal. Now, Lil Wayne sued for $51 million. So now, naturally, you sue for three times more than what you're supposed to get anyway. Now, they've had their disagreements all the way back, like I told you, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, because at the time, Universal and Lil Wayne had problems over money for unplayed profits with Tiger, the Young Money crew, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. And they had to settle with them, with Lil Wayne, to pay that off. That was a separate lawsuit altogether. Do not mix them together. That was its own separate lawsuit back in 2016. And Universal ended up settling that lawsuit and ended up giving them some money to pay Drake and Nicki Minaj and Tiger. But they were not going to put out any more albums with them under the Young Money banner until they got this thing situated. So now Lil Wayne sued them for $51 million because they were messing up a $50 million contract he was going to get from Jay Z. So that's why he sued for that much. And he wanted his record deal voided. He felt he's more than exceeded that long time record deal he signed when he was like 13 years old. And now it's time to have it voided. And Drake, former management company, when he was with Inspire Music Group, they sued Cash Money for profits last year. It has been so many lawsuits filed in this one situation. And it tells you about the business. Record business. Two words. People care about records, they don't focus on the business. And they need to. because the business is a mother. Now, everybody that was involved in this lawsuit was ready to come to the table and settle. And they were going to throw out all the lawsuits as part of the deal. And that's what ended up happening. Lil Wayne's going to get a little bit over 10 million. He's going to probably get 12 million, some change. And he's going to get the 8 million signing bonus he was supposed to get, plus a $2 million penalty, plus some other lawyer fees and everything else, which will bring his total to probably like 12 or 13 million, around that. But noticeably, the Carter Five will be released on Universal Records. Drake and Nicki Minaj contracts will still remain with Universal Records, and Lil Wayne is free to leave the label as effective immediately. He's free to go. Now, Joel Santana's happy because his song "I Can't Feel My Face" Part Two is on the album supposedly. So he wants that song released so he can get some money. So Lil Wayne is off the label, but the Carter Five will be released on Universal. Lil Wayne's gonna sign with Jay-Z and Tidal and be individuals. But Drake and Nicki Minaj are still with Universal. Lil Wayne had already signed with Jay-Z, but they couldn't really do too much. He put out the mixtape and they couldn't stop it. They tried to stop it and get it blocked. Now Tidal will hold Lil Wayne from here on out. He'll be with Rock Nation. He did. He was sued. He must have just gotten here. We talked about that. He signed with with Jay Z a long time ago, and was sued by Baby. No, man, dude, what you mean Lil Wayne is a garbage rapper? You must ain't been around too long. Lil Wayne, that's one thing he can do. He can get down. That mixtape was some of the most vicious venom lines I've ever heard. He basically redid the whole 444 album. Why you think he chose that album? Because he's on Rock Nation, baby. They're messing with the stream again for no reason. He's getting a little bit over 12 million. He's getting his $8 million that was promised to him in his advance money. He's going to receive another 2 million for the record, plus some lawyer fees and things of that nature. So it should be around 13 some million when it's all said and done. But more importantly, he's getting his release. That's what he wanted. Lil Wayne don't need their money. He need to get his own. They're blocking him from getting his money. He's got a multi-million-dollar deal with Rock Nation. He's more than happy to have that go the way he wants. Lil Wayne has songs with various artists already recorded and they couldn't get paid because the album wouldn't be released. So a lot of people wanted to get their money. But the main people on there, he's got a song with Drake, Nicki. It's a lot of stuff. People forgot the records. Some people was like, man, I got some on the album. I don't know if it's still gonna be on the album. He got a song with Tiger, he got one with Nicki, he got one with Drake that we've never heard. Yep. On May 23rd, all the parties agreed to have to dismiss the lawsuits and agreed to settle. Well, Birdman didn't have to pay anything. Universal paid. So with the arrangement that was reached in court, Lil Wayne is now out of his contract with Cash Money Records. He is now free, leaving him able to release the Carter 5. It is going to be on Universal. So basically, Universal just paid for this album. And now that Lil Wayne is free, he will get more money than he ever dreamed going over with Rock Nation and Tidal. Now he doesn't have to pay cash money, cash money, and deal with all that nonsense over there. So for the first time since he's been like 9 years old, he's free. Oh well, the Warriors should win. Nobody's too much worried about that. Young Money is still his thing, but here's the thing: Drake and Nicki is gonna remain with Universal. So how is that gonna work out with Lil Wayne? You know, that could be weird. It's too hot for a Diddy coat. Man, y'all still talking about the Warriors game. I was up all night arguing with people over the game. I'm still exhausted, man. Yeah, I know it was crazy. I know Pusha put himself in a situation a lot of people might not even deal with him. When will the Carter 5 be released? Soon. Very soon. It's coming out this year. They're gonna get that money. The 51 million, that's what you sue for. You don't sue for what you're asking for. He got a little bit over 10. When you add everything together, it's over 10. But you sue for that much because that's how much he was gonna get on his contract with Rock Nation. He was getting a massive deal with Rock Nation that was gonna be worth about $51 million. Well, 50 million. in total with Title and Rock Nation. So he was ready to sign that deal. A lot of people say Jay Z is really backing. Uh, it was like Jay, he's the one, he's the culprit. He's the guy that's really back and pushing. To tell you the truth, Jay just gets the money, man. Jay gets the money. And the fact that Jay is not concerned with anything Kanye West is doing. He really isn't. He's just making sure Kanye don't mention him. Just don't mention me. I'll give you your release. You can go. I won't talk about you. You don't talk about me in a negative way. I mean, he don't need Kanye no more now. He know he can go and get. He got no ID. He did the whole album with no ID, and Jay Z basically redid the whole album because he got like 7 to 8, basically 9. Boy Wonder got like 7 songs with Jay Z, and they didn't even come out. Jay didn't even release them. It's a lot of people with verses of rappers they can't even put them out. It's crazy. So Drake and Nicki is sticking with Universal Records. That was part of the structure of the deal. Universal don't care about losing Lil Wayne that much. They want that one last album from Lil Wayne, and then they're gonna let Lil Wayne go, long as they get to keep Drake and Nicki. So now that they get Drake and Nicki, they're straight. Lil Wayne is finished. A lot of people said Lil Wayne was finished a long time ago. And you know what Lil Wayne did? No, Drake and Nicki is still there on Universal, signed with Cash Money. They with Universal, they can't go nowhere. Stunner didn't pay a dime. Stunner looking like Universal finna pay you. That's a one pimp. That's a one smooth pimp there, boy. Birdman. Look here, playboy. I'm gonna help you get every dime you supposed to get out this record company. You heard me? Make sure my son all right. He didn't dissolve Young Money, but definitely Drake and Nicki are stay with Universal. So I don't know what's gonna happen. He can still have Young Money records, but him as an individual artist, he is no longer signed to Universal. It's just like 50 Cent when he had G Unit Records was still signed with Interscope, even though 50 Cent was not signed to Interscope Records anymore. I keep my ear to the ground, David. Drake is about he's thinking about retiring in about another 2 years. Drake is gonna make another $150 million contract for another 3 albums. He's looking at a 150 to $300 million deal. I'm serious. Drake is looking to make a 150 to $300 million deal. And Jay Z is jealous of Drake and always been jealous because Drake is the only one that's really rivaling him. And he's like, "You're not me." Jay's like, "Look, you're not me, Drake. Until you own your own, you can't be free. Until you own your own, you can't be me." And that's what he's saying. Like, dude, you signed the baby and cash money and all them. How you me? Because of the business moves Drake has made, he's looking at it like this: Jay, you 50. Look how young I am. When you were my age, you weren't making what I was making, Jay Z. Look how young I am, and look what I've been doing. You didn't make that money, Jay, until you was in your 40s when you made that money. I'm making that money in my 20s. So what do you think I'm gonna be when I'm 40, Jay? Drake sold his people out. How do you feel that? Who's his people? Who's his people? Bullet the barber. Thank you, Bullet. Man, I appreciate the love, man. You the first one to do it today. That's a hell of a name, too. Bullet the barber. Bullet the barber. I can cut you up, give you a nice fade, then pop. Yeah. Bullet the barber. he, he gives his victims a nice haircut, then he kills them. Bullet the barber. He was like, facts. True story. Bullet the barber. Oh, if you did, I didn't see it. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about, really. Yeah, I'm in the room. This is like time to go to sleep. We at that stage. But for Lil Wayne, I want to see where they go from here. I want to see what's next. Because I don't think this Carter 5 album is what everybody think it is. But everybody, all the hoopla bit about it, I think it's gonna be a thanks for always making me sound smart in arguments. No problem, Mr. Tall. That's my job to give you the information to fight the people with no information. And I was arguing with some people yesterday about the doggone game. They telling me it's no way LeBron. They Lakers can't afford two players. You would be amazed how many people that don't follow the sport of basketball, they just watch the game. They're so dumb, they know nothing. I'm like, I can't believe you this stupid. It really just came out of my mouth. They were all mad, but I'm like, look, I'm sorry to say it to you like this, but I can't believe you this dumb. You've never heard him going to the Lakers? Wait till this is over. That's all you're gonna hear about is him going to the Lakers. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, Clay's gonna be a Laker. He's gonna retire a Laker. I like how Ice Cube came out. You heard that Cube was like, we don't need LeBron. Now if he finna slow up and mess up everything, LeBron get on the team, he messes up the development of everybody else. See, people starting to see it. Lil Wayne still owns Young Money Records. He's just this is affecting Lil Wayne as an artist. As an artist. Drake, Nicki, still with Universal. Young Money, still with Universal. All right. Thanks, Mr. Sledge. But Rundy showed up. Cash Money coming back from the 99s to the 2000s. You know, Kevin Johnson, Cash Money has the longest tenure of any of these record labels that's putting stuff out. Even Bad Boy Records and everybody else, Cash Money has stood the test of time. Normally, these record labels and these companies last, they got like a 3 year run. They got like a 3, 4 year run. And then that's it. The wheels start falling off. They reinvented themselves. A lot of people gonna say Def Jam. We got the longest run. I mean, Def Jam has changed a lot. Def Jam just kept the name Def Jam in it, but it was really sold way back in the 90s. Russell Simmons been out of the picture since the 90s. Back before Jay-Z them was even in there. Leroy Cohen them was running Def Jam. Russ was just a face at that point. They signed that deal with Polygram. Then they became Def Jam Music Group and not Def Jam Records. They was basically going in. I don't mean just operational. I mean in business as far as making hit records and still being on top of the game. They reinvented themselves. That's what they did. They reinvented themselves and got right back in the game. Cash Money didn't rob anybody. Didn't what's his name, get his money when he came home? He got his money. BG smoked up his money and snorted his money. So what do you want? Turk came home and is like, man, I want the money I'm supposed to get. Baby paid Turk his money. So he ain't got no more complaints with the label. He got paid the money he asked. Birdman said, that's what you say I owe you? Boom. There you go. He got his check. And he was like, bet. That's all Turk said he was owed. I mean, there he is. I mean, that's some people are just bad with money. You get them 5 million, they're gonna be broke in about less than a year. Who did they rob? These people signed. There's the thing called contracts. And when you got a bunch of people who sign contracts and they don't know anything about the contracts, they don't know anything about what they're signing. Rappers think they're supposed to get more than what they're supposed to get because they don't know how the contract is structured. The people who are actually spending the money to make the records, to put the money up for you, they're going to get the majority of the money. That's just how it is. That's the business. That's in anything. The promoters, whoever promote the event, they're going to get more than the actual people that perform the event. Look in boxing, same way. The people who fight don't normally get more money than the people that promoted the events. Once the fighters start realizing that, then they want to be the promoters and the fighters. They got smart. That's a perfect fit for him. I thought Dwayne Casey would go there. I'm glad we didn't get Kenny Smith. We do definitely leave him in TNT. We don't need him in Detroit. I could see that happening. Yep. So now he's free from Baby and Birdman. He don't have to deal no business with Birdman as it when it comes to that Young Money and Drake and Nicki. That's still his label. It's on Universal, so they have no problem there. Just Lil Wayne as an individual artist is no longer signed with Cash Money and Universal. That's all he wanted was his freedom. He got it. He got his advance money for the Carter Five, which is going to be released on Universal. He got his advance money for it. He could pay the artist now. He got his back money, his extra 2 million. Uh-oh. NASA just made a discovery and said building blocks of life was found on Mars. Hmm. Don't tell me you're gonna tell us something we already know that you've been hiding from the public. Hmm. Oh, not to worry. They talking about the organic molecules that's in the soil that's made up of life. I mean, it's not hard to tell that that used to be a planet that had something many many moons ago, but now it's uninhabitable. You can't breathe the atmosphere. It's too cold. The sulfur there, it's looked like it's been abandoned for like many hundreds of years. They need to stop messing with Mars. Go over there, and end up bringing something back. You go over there and quit messing around till you find something. I look like Manny Fresh. Bomb, 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 rocket bow, boy. You here for the info, Van? You might as well start from the beginning. Do I believe in other intelligent life in the universe? Of course, Earl Edney. You know, at night when you look up in the sky and you see a star, do you know what a star really is? Do you know why they millions of miles away? Do you know what all those stars are? Those are not just compiles. No, it's not gas. That's the lie they tell you because they couldn't see that far. Now that they have powerful telescopes, it's not just a compilement of gas. To them, we are a star. They see us as a star. But when you get millions of miles away and look at the stars, you start to see something else. Solar systems, just like ours, surrounded by a sun, and they have planets. And the reason how they were able to find this out because we have space stations out there now with telescopes that can shoot through space instead of going on Earth, shooting through Earth trying to find things. We have one out in space, telescopes that can shoot through, and we found super Earths. As you saw, they made a movie about it, the movie Battleship. No, they're super Earths. Like there's a Earth planet bigger than this, bigger oceans, everything. They can't give you all the information that they have because it will overwhelm you and put you in fear. There's solar systems with only two, three planets. There's some with more, all in the stars. They just rather you look up at the stars and go, oh, the stars. They don't want you to know, not everything, because we're always looking for a place to go. Do you understand that? People are always looking for a place to go, to leave this place, to go someplace else and see if there's someplace else they can take over. I was Joan of Arc in my former life. We need more videos about stuff like this. I'm not telling them too much. Most of that stuff they can look up. I'm like, they made the movie of it. They just told you. When they made the movie Battleship, you thought they was making it with fake information. They used real information to make a movie about the other life form coming here on these super Earths, like another Earth and all those, right? Yes, super Earths are real. When they found that, that's real information. That's not fake. I didn't see that on YouTube. I saw it when it actually took place. Once they realized that, oh my goodness, we got other planets out there. There's other planets. They're so far away, we would have to journey way out to try to get there. And that means our body would have to be in a hypersleep, and we got to have a spaceship or a robotic pilot that would guide and navigate us. And then we're talking hundreds of years before we even arrive. Do you remember the movie Passengers? When they left Earth because Earth was overpopulated and they was gonna start another population somewhere, and they had to travel like 100 years to get to the planet that they were going to inhabit it, and then they were all asleep on there. And then the guys, his pod malfunctioned and woke him up early, and then he was all by himself on the ship, knowing that he was probably gonna die on the ship. And what did he do? He saw a girl, saw her profile, malfunctioned her thing, and let her wake up so he wouldn't die alone. So he just basically killed her by waking her up. I feel you. I just want to see Lil Wayne put out good music. I just really don't think the Carter Five is gonna be all that. I really don't. I'm not really convinced on the Carter Five being like the end all be all of hip hop. Universal just wanted this one last album. People want to hear it anyway because they've been waiting for it for like what 3 years. And that's what Universal's banking on. That's why they said we just want this album and you can go. Give us the Carter Five. We got it good. Now y'all can go. Now Lil Wayne finna put out some more heat, but that's gonna be on Rock Nation and Title. I should do the other Rick James. What you found, Ray Lewis? You found something called Formation. What you said? Firmament. Okay, let me check it out. Firmament, the heavens or the sky, is the structure above the atmosphere of Earth, conceived as a vast solid dome. According to the Genesis creation native, God created firmament, the firmament to separate the waters above the earth from the waters below the earth. Oh man, you went deep. And God called the firmament heaven. Okay, now you know I'm going tired. Y'all got me looking up firmament. Yeah, I know everybody here know that line in Chicago. When you start talking about the four corners of the earth, the Bible said they went to the top of the mountain and seen the four corners of the earth. Yeah, you already know, Eric. Eric Johnson already know. He was like, "Yep, four corner hustlers. We went to the top of the mountain and saw the four corners of the earth." Ray Lewis then came in here and started a whole new argument. Well, I'm finna try to get some sleep. Lay down for a little bit. I'm a little tired. Take a quick nap. Charge the battery. Thanks.